Hey friends out there, Rob here with Chris West Entertainment, the live DJ, event sound, and broadcast division of Robert Hand Photography. Today, I want to share with you the three amigos, specifically the Mixstream Pro, but also the PRX 1 Mark II by JBL, as well as the Eon 1 Mark II. These three devices work together and help me provide a wonderful show to my brides and grooms and all people in attendance when I'm out on location. We're going to talk about this real quick, but I just want to give you the heads up. The Eon 1 Mark II is a great device to get sound out with 7-input mixer in the back, Lexicon effects, all kinds of cool stuff. The Eon 1 Mark II allows me to bring multi-zones, specifically battery operated, down to the beach, so that I can give you live sound on location at the beach, as well as the two working together, pushing almost 4,000 watts of bone-chilling power and sub-bass just for you when we're out at the wedding. It is so cool. If you want to learn more, don't forget to hit the links down and below. Find out a little bit about what we're doing here in Virginia Beach. But the brains of all of it is the Mixstream Pro. Now, I was so excited when the Mixstream Pro came out because it gave me the ability to deploy my teams differently. In fact, the Engine OS software that's on here is the same software that you'll find on devices that cost a lot more. It's exciting because it's at a price point that's reachable for more people, which means I can buy more of them, give these devices to my DJs, and let them go out and do the job the way I want them to do it all the time. Just better brand recognition all over. Let's talk about how that works. It's streaming music, so I can have all of the playlists and everything streaming straight into this thing with all of my cue points, loops, everything else built straight into it. That's awesome. And then if the bride or groom at a particular place asks for some music that we don't have, well, we've got it on hand. Now, what makes this special isn't the fact that you can stream music. That's been coming along for a while. But this is completely computerless. You need no computer. It's all done through the Engine OS software. And the cheapest you could get it anywhere else is around $1,000 on the DJ Prime Go. But this is $600 at the time of the filming, and it's got built-in speakers. A feature I think is really awesome. Let's actually give a walk around real quick for it. So, looking at the top of the device, we've got these two 6-inch platters. These decks are nice. They feel good. Scratched on the top, nudge on the side. Really nice looking. Get some little vinyls put on there if you want. Look kind of cool. Going across the top, we've got our two high-pass and low-pass filters for each deck. We're going to come over here. We've got our mix between stereo mix and what we're hearing in our headphones, as well as the volume. Also, we've got our cue out for our main and these speakers right here. Now, these speakers, we're going to demo them later, but they are no joke. They're 3-watt speakers, and they're really nice. We got two forward-facing speakers and two upward-firing speakers. They actually pack a little bit of a punch. I got to tell you, they sound pretty good. Moving on down to the center of the deck, we've actually got our encoder, not to mention this touchscreen. We can navigate pretty much any way that we would like I'm doing connecting the title right now. We can navigate through there with this little knob. We can also do the touchscreen. You can see that I'm grabbing my playlists right now. As we move on down, we've got our levels for each deck corresponding, and then we've got our treble, our mid, and our bass. We've got 50mm sliders right here, paddles that are nice, momentary, and hold. How cool is that? And 4 effects. It's really cool. Now, off to the side, we've got our crossfader, which is digitally controlled, like many of the settings on this from the software. I'll show you that in just a minute, but we can set this to act however we want. When we move around to the bottom of the deck, we actually only see 4 pads. Normally, you'd see 8. That's no problem. You just press it twice, and you get the extra 5, 6, 7, and 8. So whenever you see the cue or the saved loop or the auto loop or the roll function is solid, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. When you press it again, you get 5, 6, 7, and 8. And that's the same for any of them. So actually moving through these and finger drumming and stuff like that isn't a problem at all. It's pretty easy. We've got these faders over here, which might seem a little bit small. They're like 50mm, something like that, maybe a little less on these. But we've got these pitch bend and loopers right here that allows us to actually stretch that. So this can be set to scale up to 100%. Normally 10% to 20% is fine for what I'm doing. It's really great for beat matching. Now, as we continue and move on around to the front, you're going to see 2 XLRs and 2 unbalanced RCAs. How cool is that? We've got our SD card slot and a couple of USB ports that we can add additional media from an SD card reader or from a thumb drive or from a hard disk drive or an SSD. Plug straight in. Now, when we're on the front, we've got our headphones and our mic. We've got our mic in over here. We can use an adapter, but it's a 3/8. And then we've also got our headphones, which is at 1/8 or 3/8, whichever you'd like. Really easy to use. Hardware's looking good, and these speakers are something special. Now, what you saw earlier was just how we came up to the top and I loaded up on title and things like that. But let's actually talk about where things get really interesting. On our control center, we've got quantize, continue, and split cue, crossfader. These basic controls right here allow you to set a lot of the things that are going to protect you when you're out there DJing. I specifically like continue and quantize. Quantize helps you beat match, and continue just allows it to play the next upcoming song in a playlist. Now, this isn't the same as playing a deck as a playlist, which you can do, where it's going to lock the entire deck down. This allows you to have full control, but if you accidentally forget to hit the next play button and you're doing something, it'll just roll right on to the next one. And if you're streaming at the time, the deck is smart enough to go ahead and download that next song in the playlist or in the song matchup so that you can actually have that for you there. Crossfader control is just that. Set the crossfader however you'd like. I want to kind of walk through the source, Wi-Fi, record, and lighting right here. We can record whenever we're not streaming, so if we already own the media on a hard disk, we can record. If we are streaming, it will mute that track. It's a bummer, but it's kind of like DRM. Lighting, we're not even going to go into that today, but this deck will actually control engine lighting as well as Philips Hue. So anything that's like smart switch or smart sound lighting, it's going to work right there. That brings DMX control to the machine, which is it's kind of wild. It really helps you truly command the show. And then, of course, our source. Let's go back over here to our source. We've got Tidal and SoundCloud. When we click one of those, it pops up just as quickly as that. As we continue to move through, I'm going to just hit on this. We've got settings upon settings in here, over 100 settings that you can set this deck up to work so well, which is one of the reasons I like to use it in my setup with my system and my team, because I can set each one of these decks up to be the same so that my team can have the same kind of show each time. Even though the music changes, we want the same show to be a great show. In fact, we don't want to be great DJs, we want to be great showmen. That's how we're working. In any event, we've got all of this put together right here, and here we go. We've got something loaded up. And how long does it take to load a track when you've got it from Wi-Fi? Well, that will depend on your Wi-Fi, but let's go ahead and actually move out of this because it may have loaded some. I want to show you right over there. How about some modern wedding reception songs? Meant to be. Load it to the right. Loaded on deck 2, and it is already 60%, 70% done. It's downloaded, and it's actually building out a complete new track already. Now, the reason it's building out this track right now is because I don't have my SD card inserted. The nice part is, and I'll show you this in just a second, once you put your SD card in, it will actually show you all your different cues and loops that you've already got set in there. We're going to come back to that in a minute, but let's actually go back out here to our browse. Okay, I've gone ahead and turned demo content on. That way I can get some demo tracks. Now, you can see those demo tracks right there. Now, I've got the deck set up. Everything's leveled out to the same. Let's go ahead and get a track. We're going to bring it in, this one right here. We're going to send it to the right side. It's already loaded. We're going to go ahead and press play. I'm going to bring that track up. Okay, so we just have a little hi-hat and a little bit of a bongo beat going on right there. You can also see that it's coming up with some different cue points that are already in. Now, one thing I am going to do is show you that if you ever want to change your view, if you like to see it in the horizontal view, you can. For me, I prefer it in the vertical view. Now that we've got that going on, now that it's right here, we got our little music going, we can actually jump around. As you can see, you want to hit to your next cue point, boom, we're down here. And it jumps through the different songs. That's because these demo tracks already have this loaded into it, just like your regular tracks. But I can't show you that because of copyright protection, right? So maybe you can hear a little bit in the background, a little bit of a groove going on, yeah. Boom, we hit that. And now let's say we want to move another one. Load it to the left, it's right there. We've got this one, we're going to hit play. It's over here, it's muted, right? And as it's played, we're just going to hit sync. Our hard part is done. We can nudge it a little bit, but that sync button allows it to pick straight up. In fact, you're going to see that as we go through here, the beat grid has already been matched up. Now, if we wanted to stop it, we could stop it, we could align it, and then click play now, and then sync. Now it's all synced up. There we go. So we've got this hitting. Boom. Let's go ahead and get one of these filter in and fades outs. Boom. There it is. There's our transition right there. Filter in and fade out. We didn't even flip the bass down here. Nothing like that. There we go. Okay, so that's all stopped. Let's actually go ahead and load the card and check that out real quick. Loading the card is pretty simple. Check out what it does right here. Once it sees that the card's in, load it, DJ, yes. Now that it's loaded over here, we can go ahead and take one of these songs. I'm going to go ahead and load it onto deck 1 in this instance. And you can see you've got these cue points that are already set up over here. So if I go ahead and hit that, boom, boom, it's taking me straight through the entire song, just like that. However I want it to go, it's hitting it up just for me. Very simple, very easy. Now that means that I've got these points set up specifically for my team to be able to jump in and jump out real quickly. And that means that I can go ahead and quick mix anytime I see the dance floor needing to get something off and something else coming back on. This is great because I can deploy this across the entire team just as you see it. Now, if you thought that was enough, there's a couple other features right there. Not only do the speakers work well, not only does this work well, but when we go back to download, now that we've got that, let's go back over to title, right? We'll go to our source. We can come over here and go to sources, go back to title. I like title. Now, when we come down here, let's take a different one. Popular wedding exit songs. Loads up some tracks. We're going to take this, slide it to the right to load to deck 2. And as you can see, it's downloading. We're already 50% almost downloaded. And now that it's downloading, you're going to see it's going to pop up right here. Boom, check it out. We've already got our cue points in there. Cue points and things like that are always stored onto the SD card that you got right there, which means it's going to make it real easy for you to load this up and have it all across multiple devices. You take this SD card, copy it to several other SD cards, you are good to go. So here we are. We've got the Mixstream Pro. We've got our perfect pair between the PRX1 Mark II and our Eon 1 Mark II. These make the three amigos easy to get out there and rock the dance floor with something like this. I hope you have enjoyed this very quick overview. I am Rob with Chris West Entertainment. If you want to find out any more about what we're doing here in Virginia Beach, go ahead and hit us down in one of the links below, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Thanks for watching.